announcements for the week, and it gives me great pleasure. I was hoping that I wouldn't cry when I'm up here because this is a very special moment, not only for us, but for me, that, God gives you the call. And people always ask, well, how do I know when I'm supposed to go into ministry and do this? I said, it's when you get a call, that call from God. Not from a man, not from a woman, not from anybody else. They can speak life into you, but it's the ultimate call that God has called you to do. And so when God calls you, you've got two choices. You can go with the call or you can ignore the call. And let me tell you, that's not a call you want to ignore. And so my wife and I, we've risen to the call. He's called us to be pastors and to be able to spread the kingdom good news. And so it is my pleasure to bring up my most amazing, beautiful wife, amazing mother. She's not only the pastor of Help Out Here, but she is the pastor. She helps pastor our home. And you're going to hear an amazing word today, not only just the women, but the men. Men, let's open up our ears, let's open up our hearts, because the woman that God has given you is a gift. You got to remember one thing. That woman next to you is God's daughter first, then it's your wife. So imagine how I'm treating my wife and what I'm doing. Jesus is right here. Would you treat her that way? Because he's right next to you. So love her, adore her, honor her, and serve her. So with my great pleasure, Pastor Erica is going to be giving the word today. I love you, baby.
Welcome. So I'm excited this morning. This has been literally, so for all the moms in the room, we've all been pregnant before, right? And so literally, when he told me this 3 weeks ago, let me just, quick story. 3 weeks ago, I wanted to shrink back, you guys. Okay, I literally wanted to just say, no, you're doing a great job. There's no reason for me to give Mother's Day, message. She's like, no. The Lord has asked me to ask you to share this message. And I said, okay, well, I got to pray about that. How many of us in the room say, when somebody tells you something that the Lord told them to tell you, how many of us go and say, I got to pray about that? How many? Be honest, right? And so that's what I did. And so immediately the Holy Spirit said, yes, you are sharing the message on Mother's Day. And I said, okay, Lord, I got this. I started, started looking at my biceps and started, just building some strength, some courage. Because you guys know, a lot of y'all know that I do speak in front of people. But it's just a different feel when the Lord has called you to do something a little different, right? So like my husband said, he has called us to do this. And so what happened 3 weeks ago, my husband activated that call in me. He activated it. And just like any seed that we plant in the ground, it has to be activated. The seed won't grow unless you water it, unless you really fertilize it, right? And so I felt like the Lord had been fertilizing the seed for so long, for 37 years of my life. And all of a sudden, he activated that seed in me 3 weeks ago. And so for the last 3 weeks, I have felt pregnant again. And I know I can't get pregnant anymore. And so literally, this has been a spiritual pregnancy. And so it's so much fun, ladies. I'm going to be speaking to you. Men, be patient with the message, because this is for the ladies, okay? And there's going to be a few points for you men today, which is really exciting, because I want you to know that we must honor our spouses, okay? It goes both ways, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and start with, if I had to title this message, it would be Kingdom Woman, because I'm really going to talk to the women in this house, in this place. Okay, kingdom women. And you're probably like, what in the world is a kingdom woman, right? Because none of us has told us that. Nobody has told us what a kingdom woman is. And so quickly before I go on to start my message, I want to share with you what the Lord showed me a few weeks ago. He was like, okay, Erica, when you go, I want you to take off your high heels, okay? When you start running the race that I have destined you to do, I want you to take off the high heels, because what he has said, for the last 37 years, I've been running in high heels. You know how hard it is to run in high heels? Ladies, men, you've never tried it, Richard, right? I doubt it. But it is hard, and I'm sorry, Gabriel, I keep moving. He's going to be like, man, this one's a little harder, right, to keep track of. But it's because God made me to run, okay? That's what this shoelaces indicate. So every time I give a message, the Lord has said, I'm to hold these as a reminder that I am to run the race. I'm to run the race with my shoelaces tied, not with my high heels anymore. Because guess what? It is hard to run in high heels. I know you don't know that, Mr. Allen, but it is hard. I have tried for a few times, and I'm not very good at that. But guess what? When Erica puts on her tennies, she can run pretty fast. And so I know that's the case for you too, ladies, is that we can do so many things. We wear so many hats in our day and age, right? Because we're moms, we're daughters, we're friends, right? We're all those kind of things. And so today I really want to talk to you about the kingdom woman, okay? And what God asked me to do was to really speak to you about, He wanted me to first start off as a kingdom woman to tell you, every lady in the room, that you are worthy. That you're worthy, Angelica. You are so worthy. Because you know what? I think the enemy starts throwing these darts, right? He starts throwing these darts of, I'm not good enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not skinny enough, I'm not fit enough, I'm not healthy enough. Whatever it is, he starts throwing these lies. These lies to you. And you know what? After a while, if we're not strong enough, we start to believe them. We start to believe them. And guess what? Over time, the enemy starts wearing us down, wearing us down, wearing us down. And this goes for the men in the room too. Because you might have started up strong, but guess what? Over time, those lies start to wear you down. And so the Lord wants you ladies to know that you are worthy and that He has a plan and a purpose for each one of you. And guess what? There is a kingdom woman in each one of you. And I didn't say just in me. I didn't say just in Becky. I said there is a kingdom woman in each one of you. There is a seed that He planted at birth. Now, has it been activated? I don't know. But today is the day I tell you that you're worthy because He made you perfect in His image, and that it is time to run, ladies. It is time to run. Because He does not make us to run in high heels. Did you know high heels were actually invented by a man? Isn't that weird? So weird. But ladies, He made us to run the race and run it fast and run it good. And run it with our head held high. And so if you don't believe God has a plan and purpose, He does. It's just a matter of figuring it out. And how do you do that? With complete submission to Him. Okay? So kingdom woman inside of each one of us. So He wanted me to tell you who that person is. Okay? So that way you can strive towards it. Because if you don't, it says, for lack of knowledge, my people will perish. If you don't know, you don't know. Right? Just like if you've never been to Hawaii, you don't know what you're missing out. Right? You think South Padre Island's the best. And, there's better beaches out there. Right? And so you don't know what you don't know. So, like I said, men, the message is mainly for the women, but I hope you understand, because what happens is behind every kingdom woman is a kingdom man. Okay? So this message may be directed to the women, but remember, there's an important part you play in your household. Okay. I feel like I'm on fire up here. I don't know. I just feel on fire, Gabriel. So on fire. It's just like, all right, I can do this. So a lot of women don't understand why they were created. Okay, a lot of women walk around without knowing why they were created. And I did this for a long time, so I'm not pointing fingers. I literally walked around thinking I was meant to be a doctor. For those in the room that don't know, I'm a physician by career, but I'm a pastor by my calling. And so when I go to the judgment seat and God says, Pastor Erica, thank you for leading whatever amount of people to me. You've done a well job. You've done the job well. Right? And so sometimes I think we just go to college because our parents tell us to. We do what we're supposed to do, be good, right? Go to church, check. Go to eat, check. It's just all these check marks. And what God is saying is like, really pursue me so I can show you why I made you. A kingdom woman is created in the very image of God. It says it in Genesis 1:27. Okay, and I'm going to read it for the sake of time. So God created human beings in His own image. In the image of God, He created them, male and female. Okay, so the fact that He created you in His own image, that means you were created in God's image. Does that not blow you away? That blows me away. I literally sat there thinking, Wow. I was created in his image. And if that doesn't prove your worth, you guys, then God took it a step further. Not only did he create us, male and female, he took it a step forward and sent his only begotten Son, Jesus Christ, to die for you, to prove your worth. And so if you don't think you're worthy, that is a lie of the enemy. God has already said in his word that you're worthy. So today, ladies, moms, wives, daughters, you are worthy. I want you to leave out of here saying, I'm worthy. Stop lying to me, Satan. Get behind me, right? Because literally, we are here to run. Nothing's going to stop us. All right? Okay, so what is a kingdom woman? A kingdom woman knows who she is in him. Isn't that awesome? A kingdom woman is intimate with the Holy Spirit. A kingdom woman knows why she was created. She walks with strength and love and a sound mind. She doesn't waver back and forth. She doesn't allow people to dictate her actions, thoughts, and priorities. How many of us do that? How many of us, your friend tells you, man, that dress isn't good enough or whatever, and then we're going to change it. Because we're trying to please man. We're trying to please woman. Right? A kingdom woman strives to do her best in pleasing the Lord in all aspects. That means as a mother, as a wife, as a friend. She's resourceful, she's capable, giving, and loving. And just so you know, ladies, a kingdom woman is not perfect. Okay, so you're thinking, oh my goodness, this is way beyond me. Like I can't get there. You can. Remember the seed I told you that God planted in you? You can be that kingdom woman. You don't have to be perfect. None of us are perfect. The only perfect one was Jesus. Right? Okay, so when he was giving me this message, y'all, what he did was show me a picture of a house. So my daughter, Selah, for those that know her, she's so cute. My daughter's so adorable. She is in kindergarten. And so when you ask a kindergarten to draw a picture of a house, what do they build? What do they build? They'll build a ground, right? So if you guys have your journals that Collective gave you, you can build a basic house. It looks something like this. Okay, basic house. I want y'all to get out your journals and actually draw the structure because we're going to fill in what it means. Okay, so the ground, the square, right, which is the framework, and then the little triangle at top. This is a basic house. If I asked my kindergarten daughter to draw it, she would draw this. Basic house, right? And I want you to draw this because what the Lord showed me when he said he wanted me to tell you about being a kingdom woman, he showed me a basic house. And I said, okay, that's strange, you know? What does this mean, Lord? Show me exactly what this means. And so he took me from the foundation up to the roof. And so we're going to cover that in the sermon so you know exactly what this house means. Because what this house is, what it represents, is the basic structure of a kingdom woman. The basic structure of a kingdom woman. Okay? And so let's start from the bottom. Okay, what is the bottom? The bottom is foundation, right? For those of you that have ever built a home, the foundation has to be so solid. Right? It has to be strong because guess what? If you don't build a strong foundation, what happens to your house when the storm comes? It will fall. Same thing with a kingdom woman. The foundation has to be solid, has to be strong. And so in Luke 6:48, it talks about the person who builds their house on the rock. Right? And so this is for men too. You must build yourself on the rock. Who is the rock? Jesus, right? And so it says, like a person who builds their house on a solid rock. So when the flood waters rise and try to break against the house, it stands firm because it is well built. That is the woman. When you build your foundation strong, ladies, guess what? No matter when sorrow comes, no matter when disappointment comes, no matter when heartbreak comes, guess what? It doesn't affect you like it can affect you. Isn't that good? Men are kind of zoning out right now. I see little eyeballs. But that's okay, because this is for them too. Okay? So the Lord showed me that the foundation of every kingdom woman is very simple. It's very straightforward. We're talking about the ground, okay? The foundation. Down here, the ground. What it is, you ladies, the foundation stands for fear of the Lord. And a lot of people don't understand. They say, oh, I'm not supposed to be scared of God. Yes, you're right, you're not supposed to be scared of God. What it means to fear the Lord, it means to be in such awe of Him that you don't want to get out of His perfect will for you. Okay, that means if you're driving down the highway on His will, and all of a sudden you decide in your mind to take the exit because you think that's the best choice for you at that particular time, God is saying, get back on the freeway, get back on my perfect will for you. Okay, so the way you stay solid, strong, the way you keep a solid foundation is fear of the Lord, ladies. Because what fear of the Lord does for you, it gives you wisdom, right? In Proverbs 9:10, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Isn't that awesome? That's so awesome. Wisdom protects you. And it's also confirmed in Proverbs 31:30, when it says, charm is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. So your foundation is fear of the Lord. Okay? Fear of the Lord. It does not mean to be scared of God. It means to be in such awe of God that your decisions are based on everything He tells you to do. If He tells you not to go there that day, don't go there. If He tells you to cut off a certain friendship, cut it off. If He tells you to call your mom and apologize, call your mom and apologize. Just do it. It's like that Nike sign. Just do it, right? Just do it. I promise. When you just do it, it's amazing what the doors that God will open. It's amazing. So wisdom comes when you fear the Lord. And it rules over, like I said, the thoughts, actions, your words. It guides you to make the best decisions for you and your family. Wisdom. Wisdom. Money can't buy wisdom. Money can buy knowledge. And the thing what I thought about was my medical education. But man, I spent a lot of money getting educated. That wasn't wisdom. There's a lot of physicians out there that don't go based on wisdom. They go based on knowledge. The only one that can give you wisdom is God. So kingdom woman. Okay, so here's what a kingdom woman looks like when she fears the Lord. A kingdom woman excels in the marketplace. A kingdom woman does not let TV, social media dictate her emotions or decisions. That means when you're scrolling down your Facebook, ladies, and you see something and you're like, oh, that makes me feel sad about myself. Watch out what you're letting your eyes see. Watch out. Don't let it control you. Because remember, anything that controls you, anything that you put before God is an idol. Anything. That can be your children too, ladies. If we put our children before what God is asking us to do, they are becoming an idol. If we put our husband before God, then he's becoming an idol. We have to be careful of that. Real careful. Okay? A kingdom woman who fears the Lord understands lordship. Okay? That means, Lord, I will do anything that you tell me to do. Lordship over all. Over her husband, over her children, over her career. A kingdom woman who fears the Lord hears God's voice louder than hers. Hears God's voice louder than hers. You know the best way to do that? The best way I have found to do that is I say, Lord, I want to hear your voice. And you know what I go do? I go spend time with Him. But I also say, I bind the voice of the enemy. I bind my own voice, Lord, and I loosen yours. There's something about speaking and running, speaking and running. Women, you guys are powerful. You know how powerful ladies are? We are activators. We move, we walk, we talk. And do you know, ladies, that we say 20,000 words per day on average? Do y'all know that? Do y'all know that? Isn't that funny? And guess how many your men say on average? This is just ballpark. Men on average speak about 7,000 words. And so here's what made me think of that. I was like, whoa, ladies. So we're basically speaking 3 times more than our men. And if we're speaking negative thoughts, if we're speaking ugliness, because remember, whatever is in the heart is going to come out through the mouth. So if we're speaking bad things into our children, into our husband, we are speaking to the fool in them and not the king in them. And so it is important, because God made us to speak, it is important that we really have lordship. Because when you have lordship, guess what? You have love. When you have lordship, you have peace. When you have lordship, you have just amazing things that come out of your mouth, and you edify, you lift. We are meant to lift and edify. And so negativity, if you have it in your mouth, we need to do a heart check. Okay? And there's nothing wrong. We've all had it. I think I was the one that used to see this half empty. I literally used to see it half empty. Now I see it half full. I'm like, oh, good, I have some water to drink. It's awesome. And so it's all how we look at things. This is one of my favorite things. Kingdom women who fear the Lord, don't let her own ambitions dominate her. Kingdom women who fear the Lord, do not let her own ambitions dominate her. Okay, so for those that don't know yet, I'm a very type A. I like things my way. It's like Burger King, maybe my way, right? Is that what it says? And so this really spoke to me, because I said, yeah, I gave my ambitions away. When I made him Lord of my life, which was when I was 8, but really made him Lord of my life when I was 36, okay, that was a year ago, my ambitions went out the door. All of a sudden, I'm like, Lord, whatever you ask me to do, I'm going to do. Okay? Praise you, Jesus. Actions are a result of her obedience to God. So that's a woman who fears the Lord. All her actions, the way she speaks, the way she moves, what she does, how she treats her family, how she treats her co-workers. Okay? She's willing to give up to go up. All right? She's okay with looking different. This is a woman who fears the Lord. She's okay with looking different. How many of us want to just fit in? Some women do not become the woman they are supposed to be, unfortunately, because they're too busy, too distracted. One story that comes to mind is the story of Mary and Martha. You all know that story? She was so distracted, and so let's go to Luke 10, verse 38. This is a story of distraction. Because as women, God has given us the ability to multitask. And so we got to be very careful, ladies. Because the fact that he made us like that internally, that we can multitask, that can actually be our biggest weapon. Okay? And here's a good example of somebody who missed out on the Messiah because she was distracted. All right? So let me start. As Jesus and the disciples continued on their way to Jerusalem, they came to a certain village where a woman named Martha welcomed him into her home. So Martha basically welcomed Jesus into her home, okay? Her sister Mary sat at Jesus' feet, listening to what he taught. So here Martha was distracted by the big dinner she was preparing. She came to Jesus and said, Lord, doesn't it seem unfair to you that my sister just sits here while I do all the work? Tell her to come and help me, says Martha. But Jesus replied to Martha, my dear Martha, you are worried and upset over details. There's only one thing worth being concerned about. Mary has discovered it, and it will not be taken away from her. So I want to quickly give you, this is okay, Jesus sitting right here. This is Jesus sitting right here, ladies. And there's Mary sitting right there at his feet, literally worshiping the Messiah. Okay? Martha is so busy getting things ready for the Messiah that she misses out. Yikes. We got to be very careful, because you can be doing things for God and not know God. Right? We see that in a lot of churches. They're so busy volunteering, so busy doing things like that, and they're like, wait, why am I here? Is it to people please? Or is it to get to know the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords? So don't be distracted. Don't be too distracted. Martha wasn't doing anything bad. She wasn't doing anything bad by sitting and preparing things for Jesus. The very thing that Martha was doing for Jesus distracted her from Jesus. So with lordship, you guys, lordship ladies, you can't be a people pleaser. You must be a God pleaser. So to recap, the foundation, remember going back to the house. Going back to the house, the foundation is fear of the Lord. Fear of the Lord leads to wisdom. Okay? And here's what the Lord says about wisdom, in case you don't believe me. Wisdom is really important. The Lord said, wisdom is more profitable than silver, and her wages are better than gold. That means she's worth more than money. Wisdom, I would rather have wisdom over money at any time. Okay? The Lord says wisdom is more precious than rubies. Same thing. The Lord says nothing you desire can compare to wisdom, to her. He puts her in her form. The Lord says by wisdom, did you know by wisdom the Lord founded the earth? He made the earth because of wisdom, the spirit of wisdom. Proverbs 4:8 says, if you prize wisdom, she will make you great. Embrace her and she will honor you. That's wisdom. Wisdom you should love like a sister. Wisdom, here, get this one. Wisdom multiplies your days and adds years to your life. Wisdom, wisdom, wisdom. Wisdom protects you, so don't turn your back on her. Love wisdom and she will guard you. Thank you, Jesus, for wisdom. So remember, fear of the Lord leads to wisdom, and that's what wisdom can do for you. Protects you. Right? Okay, going to the framework, right? We've talked about foundation, ladies. Remember, this is the basic structure of a kingdom woman. Okay, so what the Lord showed me with the framework is the Proverbs 31 woman. So I want you to turn to your Bible. Okay, Proverbs 31. So Proverbs 31, do y'all know that it's a poem of praise? Do y'all know that? It's a poem of praise. It's actually praising a wonderful wife and an excellent mother. Do y'all know that? Proverbs 31 is awesome. It praises you. It praises you, because this is what we really, ladies, should strive to be. Men, let me speak to you real quickly. Men. I want to see all eyeballs on me. Men. This is not a checklist to say, oh, you're not doing this. Oh, you're not doing that. This is not a checklist for that. This is literally a poem of praise. So this is, if your wife is taking care of your house, praise her, honor her, love her, speak to the woman, the queen in her, because guess what? If she's not quite here yet, guess what? Your praise will elevate her. Your praise will make her feathers fluffy, right? Yes? And when that happens, guess what? She's going to fluff your feathers too. It's awesome. We do that all the time, right? We fluff each other's feathers. It's fun. And so, Proverbs 31 is a vision, it's basically a vision of a godly mother and what kind of impact she makes on her home. Okay? It's a poem. All right, so let's go and get started. So, we're going to start in verse 10. Who can find a virtuous and capable wife? So this is talking about the wife, okay? She is more precious than rubies. Her husband can trust her, and she will greatly enrich his life. So what God is saying to us, ladies and gentlemen, is when a woman is loving, supportive, trusting, she is a great blessing to her husband. She is powerful. A woman who partners with her husband is reliable. Basically, she gives security to the man when he can trust her, when he can trust her with the house, right? Because I feel like the house is my domain. Do y'all feel like that, or is this it's me? I hope it's not spirit of control. But I feel like, yeah, and we're going to go over some of the stuff that the ladies do in here, right? But this is our domain, ladies. And so when he goes out to work, and we're taking care of the house, we're taking care of the children, guess what? It gives them such honor. And men, if your woman, if your lady is struggling with this, start praising her, start speaking life into her. Because guess what? She will become that woman that God has made her to be. But if you're tearing her down, and you're speaking to the fool in her, guess what you're going to get? The fool. There's no doubt. It's like a chocolate cake recipe. You can't get a vanilla cake after, if you put everything, in the bowl for a chocolate cake. If you put everything in the bowl to put her down, guess what you're gonna get? A beaten up mom. It's not good. Okay, so speak to the woman that you want her to be. She is worth more than a paycheck when you can trust her, when you can love her. Isn't that awesome? Verse 12, she brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life. She finds wool and flax and busily spins it. She is like a merchant ship, bringing her food from afar. She gets up before dawn to prepare breakfast for her household and plans the day's work for her servant girls. She goes to inspect a field and buys it. With her earnings, she plants a vineyard. Isn't the woman awesome? Isn't this lady so smart? She's so smart because she isn't afraid of work. A kingdom woman is not scared to work. A kingdom woman gets up in the morning ready, and guess what the devil says? Oh shoot, she is up. She's up. That's what I hope he says that when I'm up. Yes, I'm up and I'm ready to put the armor of God on, and I'm ready to go do what God has asked me to do for that day. Right? So a kingdom woman takes care of her home. She wakes up early to prepare breakfast for her household. This reminds me of my mom. She would get up at 5:30 in the morning because she was a homemaker. How many times in this day and age do we not respect homemakers? How many times in this day and age do we feel like women, we have to go out and work to fit in? If God made you to be a homemaker, be a homemaker. That's part of what He innately made us. And there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. The kingdom woman makes sure the necessities of her home are met. Going to verse 17, she is energetic and strong, a hard worker. Another version says, her arms are strong for her task. And what that means, her arms are strong for her task, is that that is a result of her efforts of being a godly mother. That means she does things consistently right for her family. Okay, her arms are strong, and it doesn't mean in the physical; it means spiritually. Her arms are strong, and it might mean physically too. Guess what? Because ladies, how many times are we carrying tons of things, including babies and things like that, right? And so it could be both. Verse 18: she makes sure her dealings are profitable. Her lamp burns late into the night. That's so cool. Because what a kingdom woman does, she makes decisions based on what the Lord has asked her to do, and she just texts them. She's like, wow, look at all the great things I've done because of what the Lord has given me wisdom to do. It's awesome. It's like a little checklist. I'm like, oh, God, you're so good. You do things way better than I can. And when it says her lamp burns late into the night, what that tells me is that, you know what, even when the kids are down, mom's work never ends. It keeps going and going and going, right? And I think of a mom who has a newborn. Who gets up in the middle of the night? Mom, right? And we have some awesome dads. Trust me, I have an amazing husband that would help me a lot. But, bottom line is moms do a lot of that, right? Okay, her hands are, so verse 19, her hands are busy spinning thread, her fingers twisting fiber. She extends a helping hand to the poor and opens her arms to the needy. She has no fear of winter for her household, for everyone has warm clothes. She makes her own bedspread, she dresses in fine linen and purple gowns. So again, her strength comes by building her family up. Her strength comes from caring for her kids. Her strength comes from providing for her family. Her strength comes from them. It's not for show. Moms, we don't do this for show, right? We don't do this for show because we're the most underpaid people. If you put all the hours we put into it, we're so underpaid. But we do it as a service because we serve our family. We make sure that everything is nice and neat, right, at our home. God gives the kingdom woman grace to help others too. It's pretty awesome when you see that. And the other thing, ladies, on this in verse 22, it says she makes her own bedspread. She dresses in fine linens and purple gowns. What that tells me is the airline rule. Y'all know what the airline rule is? When you have small children, you get on the airplane, they say, ma'am, if we lose cabin pressure, please put oxygen on yourself first before you put it on the children. Most people would think, let's put it on the children because mom, we want to take care of everybody else first before we take care of ourselves. In all actuality, is actually opposite. Airlines got it right. So what we should do, women, is take care of ourselves first, oxygen on ourselves first, then oxygen on your husband, on your children. Because guess what? If mama's not right, nobody else is right. Right? And so that tells me that sometimes, and I hear this a lot. I hear women saying, oh, I never have time for myself. I never have time for myself. If you're doing that, stop it. Because it is biblical that we must take care of ourselves. This lady in Proverbs 31, she says, she basically herself, she made her own bedspreads and was dressed in fine linen and purple gowns. She made time for herself. Isn't that awesome? We need to make time for ourselves. It's so important. Verse 24. She makes belted linen garments and sashes to sell to the merchants. She goes to inspect a field and buys it. With her earnings, she plants a vineyard. I love the Proverbs 31 woman. She's so savvy. She's an entrepreneur. So kingdom women, we figure it out. Kingdom women figure it out. They will sell tamales to make extra money for the babies, right, Amanda? We'll do whatever it takes to make sure that there's food on the table. Okay? And so that's what it's saying, is that we're not afraid. We're not afraid to do what we need to do to provide for our family. 25. She is clothed with strength and dignity, and she laughs without fear of the future. So basically, the kingdom woman does not worry about trivial things. She doesn't worry about things that don't matter. She does what the Lord tells her to do. And guess what? When you do that, your stress should literally be out the door. When I see a woman who's stressed, I see a woman who's doing it on her own. When I feel stressed, I see I'm trying to do it on my own. And so if you're stressed, it's most likely that you are trying to do it on your own. The strength comes from him, ladies. Okay? So she smiles. I love how it says, she smiles and she laughs at the future. Because you know what? She doesn't worry. A kingdom woman doesn't worry. Guess what? Because why? Because God has everything in his hands. He's in control of everything. That's why she laughs at the future. Most of us look at the future and we get scared. We want to go backwards. Can we go back and being a baby? No, don't be scared. And if you're scared, know that maybe there's some work that you need to do. Verse 26, when she speaks, her words are wise, and she gives instructions with kindness. I love that. Did you hear that last part? She gives instructions with kindness. Mothers, we need to speak to our children with kindness. If we are bossing them around, we've got to be very careful to figure out where this is coming from. Because guess what? The enemy will use any crack to get into the house. Strife is a good example. When we see strife coming into our house, what do? We pray. We get the kids together and we pray. Spirit of strife, go in Jesus' name. You have no authority in this place. We don't allow it, you guys, because what happens is the children go off to school, we go off to work, and we're exposed to a lot of things. And we allow that to come into our house, it will take over. It'll take over. So be careful how you speak to your children. Because it's the same thing. You want to speak good things into them. As mothers, we're teachers. We teach. We give wise counsel. 27. She carefully watches everything in her household and suffers nothing from laziness. The kingdom woman is not lazy. She will work hard for her family. She's the hardest worker in the house. Like I said, the house is her domain. Okay? Paul taught about this. He says that women are workers at home in Titus 2:5. And we've got to be very careful that we don't put our career before our family. Got to be very careful. Okay? Are you guys still with me? Yes? Good. All right, we're almost done. Her children stand and bless her, and her husband praises her too. 29. They're virtuous, capable women, but you surpass them all. Charm is deceptive, and beauty does not last, but a woman who fears the Lord will be greatly praised. So it comes down to that foundation, you guys. It comes down to the foundation, the fear of the Lord, what leads to wisdom. The framework of the house of a kingdom woman is Proverbs 31. So to kind of wrap it up, the characteristics of a kingdom woman, basically she's a diligent worker, she's strong and energetic, She's a teacher. She's fearless. She pleases her husband and children. She supports and comforts. I love what it says in Proverbs 16:24. It says, that gracious words are a honeycomb, sweet to the soul and healing to the bones. So speaking back to the ladies, you speak with love, speak with truth. Don't tear your children down. Because it says here, sweet to the soul and healing to the bones. So good. I love how Timothy had a biological father who rejected God. And you all know Timothy wrote some books in the New Testament. He became a noble man. And it was all because of his mother. Do you understand the power, ladies, that you have as a mother? Even if you're a single parent, do you understand the power you have? You are powerful. You're worthy. Your words mean a lot. Even if you don't have the father figure for your children. Or maybe the father lives in your house, but isn't really the father because either he's a stepdad or maybe he's just not really right with God. And so women, the impact that you can make on your children is huge. The example is Timothy. He had a father that rejected God, and the mothers are what made him to be the man he was. So awesome. Kingdom women are creative. Right? That's another one. She corrects her children. Y'all know it is our job to be the disciplinarian, both parents, mom and dad. For in Proverbs 22:6 it says, train up a child in the way he should go, because even when he is old, he will not depart from it. Your words matter, Minnie. Your words matter. Kingdom woman is beautiful. She fears the Lord. So behind every kingdom woman is a kingdom man. Right? And so men, I'm speaking to you now. God wants you to honor your women. God wants you to speak respectfully to them. He wants you to encourage them. He wants you to love them unconditionally. So it doesn't matter what she does to you. It is your job to love and edify and lift up. Because guess what? You're speaking to the queen in her. It's so beautiful when you see that. And if you haven't been doing it, it's okay. Today is a new day. And when you start doing it, watch your household change forever. It is amazing. So husbands, affirm and praise your wife for their God-given wisdom. Teach your children. Okay, here's another important part for the husband. Teach your children to honor and praise their mom. That means, men and women, is that and we see this in our house, right? Because we have little ones. We have 6 and 9-year-olds. The 6-year-old will come up to mom and be like, Mom, can I have a bowl of cereal? And I'll say no, right? Because I have a lot of sugar, And then she'll kind of, sometimes test the water. She'll go to Dad. Mom, Dad, can I have a bowl of cereal? If I say one thing, he says another, guess what kind of message that sends the child? There is division. There is confusion. And so men and women, husband and wife, need to really be on the same page. It's so important because then strife comes in. And so we always do that. We always respect each other as husband and wife. We say, well, what did your dad say? Oh, he said, it was okay. Oh, okay, then I'll go and ask him. And most of the time she's not lying. She says the truth. And so it's important that you're on the same page, husbands. Make sure you teach your children to honor and praise their mothers. And then, really important, to teach your sons to respect women. Teach them how to open the door. Teach them how to bring some flowers to their ladies, right? To their mom, actually to their mom. I love it when my children and my husband go to the store and they come and bring back flowers. Because what that message is to my kids is like, you know what? They honor and love their mom. And that's the way it should be all across. And, it doesn't have to be where you spend money. You can literally go outside and pick a rose. That's the awesome thing. You literally go outside and pick a rose. And so, getting to the end of the framework. So remember, we spoke about the foundation. We spoke about the framework, right? We spoke now. What else is left? The roof, right? Anybody can anybody guess what the roof would be in the image that God gave me of a kingdom woman? Hmm? Covering? Covering, yes. Okay, so good point. So the roof means protection, right? Roof is protection. And so what God showed me in the roof was that it was the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. So when a woman has a strong foundation and develops characteristics of a Proverbs 31 woman and keeps her eyes fixed on the triumph, that is how you build a kingdom woman. Does that make sense? So God always talks to me in illustrations. I think because He knows how basic I am. I'm super basic, and I love pictures. And so I hope, ladies, that this will remind you. Because the other thing He showed me in this was that when we go to a neighborhood, and we've been to different neighborhoods. Some neighborhoods are all. Have y'all been to those neighborhoods where all look the same? The houses all look the same. Is that fun or boring? Boring, right? Well, He showed me, ladies, that we are the neighborhood that is fun. That means when you drive into this neighborhood of Kingdom Women, guess what? Each woman has a gift. Each woman has a calling. We shouldn't compare ourselves to our next door neighbor, right? We shouldn't compare ourselves to the Kingdom woman next to us. This is the time to rise up, ladies. It is time to rise up to being the Kingdom woman that you have been made to be. And so with that being said, I mean, God He's so amazing to show us that this is the basic framework. And He even put it in illustration form. I was like, wow, that's fun. You know, imagine if we all look the same. How boring that would be. That would be boring. You know, and so it's so nice that God is so creative and gave us, all uniqueness in us. And so, ladies, it was my pleasure to share this message with you. I am so honored that I am, to many of you, a spiritual mother. And even if you are not a mother in this room, we honor you too. Because guess what? You're a mother in different forms. You can be a mother in the church, right? By just nurturing and guiding somebody. You can be a mother to your sister, in a sense, right? And so God is so good. So I'd like to honor all the mothers in the room. I'd like for y'all to stand, ladies. Just ladies. Just ladies. Everybody who's a mom, I'd like for y'all to stand. I'm going to bring in the children. So were y'all blessed by this message? I hope so. I really hope so. So we have the little children, our little byproducts, right? There's one right next to you, sister. These are little byproducts. Come on in, babies. Come on in. Come on in. All the way over here. Come all the way in. Come all the way in. All the way in. All the way in. All the way in. Stand up. All the way in. All the way in. All the way in. All the way. Come on, Aiden. Come over here, baby. All the way in. Yep. All the way in. All the way in. So children, it is so important that we honor our mothers, right, and fathers. Today is Mommy's Day, and so your children made you a special gift. And so they're going to give it to you. But before we do that, we're going to say, we love you, Mom, on 3. Is that good? Can y'all say it real loud? I want y'all to blast their ears, okay? Can y'all say that? 1, 2, 3. We love you, Mom! Yay! Okay, so you guys go to your mom and give her a big hug. Oh. So ladies and gentlemen, we're done. We love you guys. If y'all need prayer, we are here to stay. Okay? God bless y'all.